Speaking of Faker, I wanted to get your take on this, Thorin. So there was a leak recently about something that is almost certainly going to be announced at MSI. And that is that,
It's
remember
like
how
Hall of Fame or something, right?
remember the Hall of Legends that Riot announced earlier this year, and how Faker magically pivoted away from Ahri to Orianna after Worlds for his skin? And Faker implied in interviews that the Ahri skin would be coming. Well, it turns out that Faker's going to be the first inductee into the Hall of Legends by Riot. They're making it themselves. They're going to do looks like they're creating an animation from the leaked stuff that has come out already of Faker, and they're going to be releasing an Ahri skin. Now, as the esports historian, how do you feel about celebrating Faker's career while it's still going?
I mean, the problem with that is I just know that esports is a cynical business venture. So the reason they want to do it now is because this is when it's most likely people will buy the skin while he's still
Yes,
playing, right? But
obviously
every single sport that I know of doesn't allow you, except I think maybe the UFC might, but it's not really a traditional sport. It's like literally prize fighting, guys. Every other sport requires you to be retired to do all these things. Like, look, they will if you're like Michael Jordan, forego the like 5-year waiting period for the NBA, but you still have to retire before you go in the Hall of Fame. Like, that is actually mad. Not late. And also, by the way, not only is it kind of like very cynically done, but I'll just say this. Obviously, everyone can get the first one right? You can get fucking Faker. Maybe you do like Heaton and Counter-Strike. The problem here is this, Monty. Immediately, I'm ready to just be triggered. You know what I'm
coming,
ready for?
baby.
Oh, that would be way worse, mate. I'm already thinking like Bengi, Beryl, like, you know what I mean? I'm thinking some fucking utter cretins are coming next as the next ones. Like, sadly, it won't be like what it should be, Deft, Rookie. Like, if you're going to keep doing Faker, then start with these names too. Like, these should be the first ballot, right?
Yeah. And also, how are you going to create like an in-game event potentially, or a super special skin for everyone? Like, you've set the bar so high. It also doesn't really solve. I mean, it's great for the players. I'm sure the players are going to individually get cuts for this and they're going to be quite happy, but it doesn't solve the current, you spent all this effort basically, but it doesn't solve the current problems with the esports winter or the teams who are, it doesn't help the teams, right? So, you basically pulled the plug on the things that were going to help the teams, like the streaming platform that you promised the teams. And instead, you've replaced it with these Hall of Legends honoring players cynically because you want to, if you do it when Faker retires, you don't get as much money potentially. Yeah. Maybe you get that same initial burst of money because if Faker retires, you just do it as his retirement. But the thing is, the longer Faker plays, probably the more money you get out of that skin that you've made, right? Well,
this will be where during like a Worlds match, like in the quarters, as you like have the client open, it'll be like, hey, did you know you could get a Faker skin? Like, oh, fuck right off, right? Even though that is good for making money, it's like, it's so cynical, isn't it? It's so cynical.
It's also just weird. It's also just weird to celebrate a player's career while that career is ongoing.
I mean, obviously I could put a joke in there, which is like, I mean, the real Faker did stop playing about 6 years ago, didn't he? So in that sense, especially, to be fair, he actually was pretty good on Ahri, even in this latter year. It's probably one of his best champions still.
So I don't know. I mean, the Ahri skin is obviously going to go crazy as well because Ahri sells skins in general. And there's a lot.
Ahri, no. Probably get them off as well, so it can be used. I don't Riot. They don't give a fuck, mate. They're ridiculous.
But that's what's coming up, guys. And it was interesting to see this get kind of suppressed on social media, because even though there are literally screenshots that are being shared of the event that's coming up, of course, it was just completely suppressed for being unsubstantiated, even though there's actual visual evidence included in this that somebody didn't fucking make these elaborate animated screenshots of Faker and then put it on the internet as a fake. Also, we knew that this was coming, and from my own sources, guys, I can verify that this is true. So it's definitely coming. Now, I don't know if it's coming at MSI or not. I suspect it is, but it will be coming sometime soon. Right, they're gonna rush this out, try and print money off of Faker. At least Faker will get some of the money. Not like he needs it, but good for him. But it is the new cynical ploy by Riot to develop money, and apparently they can do this, but it's just absolutely fucking impossible for them to do anything in game to support the teams. Absolutely fucking impossible. Depressing.
It's Riot Games, mate. Listen, here's the thing. I haven't had hope in Riot Games for like fucking better part of a decade, mate. I know this is coming. It's all good. Remember, beatings will continue until morale improves. It never gets better. What are we talking about? No way. See more cool, funny, interesting clips based on topics from my content? Well, subscribe to this channel then, or, be a pleb and don't.